Y'all, we're excited, yo. We are so close to surgery date for me. February 13th is the big day. I just finished my nutrition class. So excited. I wanted to go over some things with you of what I learned today, the things that we're going over. If you haven't had VSG surgery yet and you still have to take your nutrition class, maybe this might give you some insight of what to expect. Again, everybody's class may be a little bit different. I was in there for about 2.5 hours. We talked a lot of information about what we can have, what we're gonna do. I just wanted to go over some guidelines with you. I have the book right here that I have for my class that I went through. Just gonna kind of highlight some of the things for you guys. Again, the first thing they want to talk about is why the nutrition or why the pre-op diet is required. The 2 weeks that I have to do prior to surgery to kind of prep ourselves. Again, I think that's going to be this Monday. That I have to start my full liquid diet. It's really to help. The main goal is to shrink that liver. We need to give the doctor the most room possible so he doesn't make any mistakes for his surgery. We want to make sure we get as much fat off that liver as we can. You can probably shrink the liver close around 25% in 2 weeks on this diet. So cross our fingers, we'll see what goes. The next big thing they were talking about is drinking 64 fluid ounces of liquids. Most of it's probably going to be water for me, but I did buy this. It's a 64 ounce I guess what you want to call it, vessel that I'm going to put my water in. It's pretty cool. They've got something to where you can kind of drink out of it here, or they have it to where you can open the big mouth, like if I want to put ice in it or something like that. But every single day, I've got to drink at least one of these to keep us hydrated. This is going to be super, super important. I can't wait to get started on this journey starting Monday. I'm excited to tell you guys and bring you guys along on my journey as well. Let me go ahead and put that down. Another thing that we're talking about is 60 to 80 grams of protein while on the full liquid diet. I'm probably gonna get most of my protein through those protein drinks. It's 30 grams of protein per drink. So I'll probably do 3 drinks per day to make sure I'm getting all my goals in for my protein. And I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water. I think if I'm gonna be drinking any or eating any popsicles, it'll be 2 ounces of fluid I can count. If I'm going to have a cup of Jello, that'll be 4 ounces of fluid. So I'm super excited about that. All right, they also talked about the 15 and 5 rule. If you're checking the back of those labels and make sure you're getting the things that you need to do, you don't want to have a ratio of anything more than 15 grams of carbohydrates to 5 grams of total fat. So we want to make sure we are less than that when we're looking at our labels. It kind of can show you what you can have and what you can't have. I really like the information that they were giving out. All right, I'm gonna kind of read off the list I have here. This is the full liquid diet that they were giving me. Some of the things that they said that I could have: unsweetened or artificially sweetened tea or coffee. I personally probably won't have any tea or coffee. I know they want to limit you to 2 cups a day because of the caffeine. I don't drink coffee anyway, and the tea I can kind of do without because I'm normally a sweet tea drinker. Don't really care for unsweet tea, but you know, we'll see what happens later on in life. But as of right now, I'm probably just going to put all that down. Diet juices, you know, you want the light juices, no sugar added type of juices. Probably won't be doing any of that either. I want to do this as clean as possible. Sugar-free Jello, which I really, really like. Again, 1 cup of Jello is good for 4 ounces of fluids. Sugar-free popsicles, if you eat a popsicle, that's good for 2 ounces of fluids. They have sugar-free pudding, sugar-free hot chocolate, which I probably won't do the hot chocolate. The Propel waters, the fruit H2Os, I probably won't do none of those. I don't really care for adding things to my water. It doesn't taste very good to me. I know a lot of people who like to do that, including my wife. She likes to add things to water to make it more palatable for her, and you guys do the same. I just drink plain water. I really like it. Going down the list: Crystal Light, free Kool-Aid, sugar-free Kool-Aid, stuff like that. Again, same thing as everything, like the Propel water to me. And then like the broth, I really like the broth. I have the chicken broth, beef broth, whatever you want to do. On the full liquid diet, approved low-fat cream soups, but not chunky. So we're talking about maybe tomato soup, or you can get potato soup. You guys got to take all the potatoes, all the chunks. Chicken, or what is it called, cheddar broccoli soup. You got to get all the broccoli out of there. Things like that would be really good. Light, no sugar added yogurt, like the triple oikos, is really, really good for you to have. The Too Good yogurts are pretty good. And then just making sure there's no chunks. Sugar-free hot chocolate, diet V8 splash. and obviously the protein supplements. Now, the protein supplements, it says you want to have 15 grams of protein per 100 calories. So you can go up to 199 and have 15. As soon as it hits 200 calories, you want to see 30 grams of protein there. That's kind of how you want to do it, how you want to stick with it. I think it's a good ratio to kind of live by. They were also going over the differences between the proteins. You have whey protein and you have the whey isolate protein. The whey protein is more of like a milk-based protein. So if you are lactose intolerant, you can go to whey isolate. I think it takes out all the lactose in there and some of the sugars, so it might be a lot better on your stomach. Some of the things, if you want to do the whey concentrate, I know they were talking about premier protein, which is what I have. And then if you want to do the whey isolate, you can do isopure, which is something that I have as well. And you also have something called Syntrax Nectar, which I've seen a lot of people on YouTube actually say they like the flavor of that. So if I can't really do the premier protein too long, if I find it's not very sitting on my stomach, I may switch over to some of that Syntrax Nectar and try that out. I do have the isopure as well to try that out. I think that's going to be pretty good as well. A big thing they wanted to get across to everybody is that you can have no carbonation for life. I mean, it's going to be a big change. I mean, you put that carbonation in your body, whether it be sparkling water or sodas or anything like that, you could extend maybe your stomach. You might be able to bust some of those staples. It's just not worth the risk. I know you possibly can do it, but it makes tons of people sick. And if you're going on this journey anyway to make a change in your life, why are you doing the things that's going to hurt you in the long run? There's no need to trick your mind and saying, hey, I'm still having these things. Just cut it out and be done with it. Then they were talking about us. They're having a clear liquid diet on the day before surgery. So some of the things they can have, and read here, it's going to be clear, right? So if you pick it up into the sun, you should be able to see right through it. Things like water, broth, Powerade Zero, sugar-free Jello, sugar-free popsicles. That's the kind of things you want to stick with. They were saying the Crystal Lights and the Lighten diet. Again, I'm just going to stay away from all that. I'm sticking to pretty much water, broth, Jello, popsicles, and that's it. Maybe a Powerade Zero if I get too bad, but it shouldn't be too bad. And they were talking about NPO by midnight. Nothing by mouth after midnight until after your surgery. So the night before surgery, once midnight strikes, you will not put anything else into your mouth until you wake up after surgery. And when you wake up, you will have some dry mouth, so don't worry about that, but it is what it is. Just make sure you fight yourself, do what you got to do, drink your last bit of water before you go to bed, and that's it. When you wake up in the morning, get ready to go to surgery, you're not having anything. That's just the way it is. They were mentioning post-surgery to start doing baby sips. You don't want to gulp anything. And when you're drinking water, whatever, you might want to drink out of the 1 to 2 ounce cups. Have some of that and just drink. You make a couple sips, every 10 to 15 minutes. That should get you by. All right, some of these things I wanted to go over with you guys that was really interesting to me is that how do you sense when you're full after surgery? So one of the things they were talking about in the class was there's a couple ways that you can kind of tell that your body's telling you you're full. One of them was burping, then it was hiccuping. Those two are really, those are common sense. The third, pain or pressure into the chest, saying, whoa, I'm full. And then your nose running or sneezing, they also mentioned. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's kind of an indication that your body's telling you that you are full. You have to listen to your body. That's the whole reason why we're doing this. We're getting the VSG surgery to kind of help us have that tool to help us build a new consciousness of how we should be treating food, and we got to listen to it. As long as we do that, we can be a success on VSG surgery. So we started moving on into the soft diet. I think it was starting on day 15 for me. We can move over to the soft diet. Things like grits and mashed potatoes and refried beans, even a boiled egg. Things like that. Some other things, let's see, soft cooked veggies, mashed avocados, bananas, but they don't want you to have smashed bananas too much because it could cause constipation. Maybe low fat string cheese, cottage cheese, things like that I think would be very good on the soft diet. I'm really looking forward to getting to this stage. I think once that stage hits for you, you're finally out of really all the liquid stuff and you can actually start eating some real food. Even though there's maybe not a lot of substance there, like you can at least start to feel, okay, I'm getting close to being through all the hard part. Once you get to your regular diet, that's going to be on weeks 5 and 6 post-op. That's when you really can start to live a little bit. You can start having your ground chickens and your fish and your ground turkeys and stuff like that. Not ground meat yet, but you can start really making some good stuff. The yogurts and the scrambled eggs you can start to have, that should be starting to do a little bit better in your stomach. Things like that. Deli meat, things like that'd be really good for you, what they said. And they said olive oil is actually okay too. It's a good fat. They said you want to stay low on the fats, but if you choose to use olive oil, that's a good substance right there. All right, one of the big rules they were talking about was total carbohydrates a day. They were saying in the class that you want to stay under 50 grams of carbs a day. That's going to help you stay energized, but not breaking it into fat, because you may not be exercising very well right now. If you don't use carbohydrates, they end up turning into fat. So you want to keep it below 50 grams, definitely starting out, because you're not going to be working out, because you're going to be unable to, because you just had a major surgery. All right, once you're on your regular diet, they gave us a list of really good non-starchy vegetables to go over. I wanted to read the list for you guys to show you guys, but look, there's a lot of good foods that we can eat out there that's really tasty. Asparagus, green beans, beets, broccoli, bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, carrots, celery, cauliflower, tomatoes, turnips, spaghetti squash, coleslaw, cucumbers, eggplants, green onions, greens, mushrooms, okra, onion, spinach, squash, and zucchini. Yo, there's a lot of good stuff we can eat. It doesn't always have to be cookies and cakes and sodas and ice creams. Make some good food. Make some good food. The non-starchy vegetables are really good for you, really good to eat. Some of the tips they were giving us in class was about maybe getting smaller bowls or getting smaller saucers to eat on. You know, when you get a nice, 4 ounce of chicken and you put it on a big plate, it's gonna seem like you don't have a lot of food. But if you put it on a smaller plate, it's gonna seem like you have a lot more food. We have to trick our minds in thinking, oh, we have a lot of food. That's going to be one of the biggest keys to success after VSG surgery. They were also mentioning too, when you dine out, just you can be smart when you dine out. You don't have to go crazy, Look for things that are more like broiled and steamed, You don't want the succulent and delicious made out of butter stuff, If you get a burger, get it in lettuce. Don't get it in the bun. There's things you can do to still have a good time out. It doesn't have to be miserable. You just have to look for the good things that they have on the menu. Make good choices. That's what got a lot of us in this predicament in the begin with. We wasn't making good choices. We just have to make better choices. Another thing they were talking about is going to be weight stalls. Everybody goes through weight stalls, and that's okay. That's normal. You have to make sure you're doing the things that you're doing, keeping on the goals, keeping on what you have to do. You're not going to be stuck forever if you're doing the right things. If you have to up your exercise, keep going out there, walk a little bit further, do a little bit more things, eat the correct things. If you're cheating a little bit, stop cheating. You can get through these stalls. Everybody has them. It's just how fast you get through them is going to be up to you. Guys, that's pretty much the summary of my nutrition class that I went through. There was obviously a lot more things than that, but I kind of wanted to break down just a little bit of what we went through to kind of give you an idea of what to look forward to if you haven't been to your nutrition class yet, or if you did, maybe hopefully there's some pointers in there that I gave you might help you in your VSG journey as well. Guys, I'm so excited for what we did and what we have accomplished thus far. I can't wait to get on my VSG journey. I'm starting my liquid diet on Monday. And I'm really excited to get that thing going. But if you guys want to see the VSG video about mentality that I did, make sure you click right here. I can't wait to see you guys on that next video. I'm gonna keep you updated.